with the cam trailer. Woohoo! We have started the Googs track and we are at the northern end, which was cut back in 1950 by a group of station owners. They use hand tools, so we're talking axes, picks, hoes, that kind of stuff, pry bars. They got to Mount Fink, which we're heading to now. Beyond Mount Fink is where the majority of the sand dunes start, perhaps all of them, we don't know yet. That is at the point where they decided that's it, we're not going to go anymore. And that is the point where you probably four-wheel drive is the only way to get over it. So we'll find out when we get there. So that's what I gave up. And then 1973, John Googs and his son and a few other people cut it from the south to the north, which joined on to what the previous station owners did. So they got to Mount Fink and basically joined the tracks up, and that's how they got through. So that is the bare bones of the history. At the moment, the track reminds me a lot of the Holland track, which is in WA, apart from the sand dunes, which we can see in the distance. We're going up and down the sand dunes a bit now. Yeah, we're a bit into it. What I've noticed, because we are going against the grain of what they recommend, it's actually easier, and here is why. Most of the people, majority of the people that have been on this track have not lowered their tyre pressures enough. Every time we go up a hill it's nice and smooth. When we go down the other side it is rough as anything, and this is why. Look at these big trenches here. And there's a bit of rubbish here too. We'll pick that up. So what's happening is people aren't lowering their tyres enough, and what they're doing is when they're coming up, because their tyre isn't lowered enough, it'll jump up and down digging into the sand, and it then creates this whoopee effect. It's kind of like massive corrugations, and the more people that do it, the worse it gets. So you can even get people that lower their tyres to the right amount now, and they are actually going to have a little bit of trouble. They'll probably make it up pretty easy eventually, but it's not making the ride comfortable. So luckily for us, we're going the opposite way. So we're going up the smooth side of the dune, and then we are smoothing all this out basically. By the time the fourth car has gone through here, it's going to be a lot smoother than what it was. So basically what I'm telling you is, or what I'm telling the general public, the viewers watching this, lower your tyre pressures. It makes it so much better. You can see here, just us driving down this is actually making the track better, more comfortable for people coming in the opposite direction. I'm the only one that's gone over this section. There are 3 more cars to come. Sand is all about momentum. Hold your momentum, be in the right gear, and most important of all, get the tyre pressure down low. I am currently running 14 front, 16 rear, and the trailer's down to like 10 or something. And that's how low I've gone. It is so much more comfortable. We actually stopped halfway up a dune and I was able to take off in first gear low and just crawl up without digging into the sand. So tyre pressures. Moving on. This is what happens. All these whoopie-doos. Imagine going up the other way. Man, it'll be so uncomfortable. You know what? Let's drop right back.
Tell me your back wheel, lift it up.
I'm in second gear.
My head's about to hit the window.
Just coasting up the sand dune. With a trailer. Lower tyre pressures. There's no problem then. Okay.
Now I understand what you're saying.
We've pulled up for lunch. Mount Fink in the background. That's where we're gonna have lunch, but the travel buddy's ready. Torben's pulling the awning out. So the difference between awnings, this is one of those 270 awnings that relies on one pole, is it, Torbs?
0 pole.
Oh, 0 poles. Okay, there you go. That's the perfect awning for a quick lunch stop. Comparatively, on the X1, we have a similar awning. Look, it's got more sort of adjustability and stuff. That thing is good for, you know, camping overnights or setting up for a while. There's a lot more work involved in these type of awnings. Also the ones that just come straight out with the poles. There's a lot more involved in those than it is in one of these.
Voila.
This one being an Alucard, but there's plenty of other brands that are 270 awnings. So if you're a frequent traveler like we are, we stop and go. That's the type of awning I would suggest. Having said that, I'm probably going to go for, I'm actually going to design my own awning. Once we got that, I'll show it to you. I say design my own awning, I'm not going to copy anything. I've actually got a really good idea, but I'm not going to share it with you because then someone's going to steal my idea. So that's to come in a later video.
Red Bull, sausage rolls, and putty pies. Kind of got it down there. That's the guy.
You may have seen from previous trips and adventures, I've had trouble with his mirror. Now Travis is finally out here with us and he's had enough of it. So he's actually ripped the old door apart and he's going to fix it for once and for all. Anyone else owning one of these Land Cruisers, it's all to do with this bolt here apparently. That one here, eh Trav?
I believe so, yeah, because they shouldn't come
adjustable
out.
one?
Yeah, that adjusts how the window regulator mechanism works.
Okay.
And what's happening is overrunning, and then it drops off.
Because when it seems to happen is when we're on corrugations or when the window's all the way down and then someone slams the door shut, it just pops out of its track. Hopefully that's the thing in the past.
Right, so with the window, what we've done, we tried the adjustment, that didn't fix it. The channel that runs inside the door that holds the window, we've undone this bolt, we've spaced it in, and also here as well, we've loosened them off and adjusted them as well. A little bit of filing down here. Tried to reduce the amount of movement. Probably could do with a little bit more critiquing, but it's going to hold it in for today. Oh, and one of the bolts have dropped out too, so it'll get us home.
It's 10 times better than what it was. So in other words, right, the frame has this distance to there, right?
Yeah.
But down there, you explained to me, it's gone wider.
Yeah, so the window can move inside the two channels.
Okay.
So we've tried to close the bottom of those channels up to keep it parallel, so the glass slides down the same, up the same.
Okay. And most windows are the same principle? Most?
Yeah, generally speaking, like when you come up higher up.
Yeah, there's
It'll
less
improve
movement now.
that, it'll improve
Before
that.
it was heaps more. It's a common problem with the 70 series as well. A lot of movement with the windows at highway speeds and just the wind. Just boop, 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 boop.
And corrugations.
Corrugations or being the worst, yep. So there's two ways to deal with this. I wouldn't say there's an issue, but there's a way to deal with these flies. One is a fly net, like Amalia's got around her face now, or you can just give in. Can't beat them, join them. I'm just not going to do what they do.
Until they go up your nose.
Until they go up your nose, yeah. Protein, if you accidentally swallow a few. How many have you swallowed so far, Wayne?
On this trip, none, but I
Okay.
think,
I got one.
yeah, Trav's got one.
I'm two in.
Oh, here?
Yeah, one I coughed up, and one I just
Yeah, I
consumed
got
it.
one. That's beauty.
It's better than doing this all
You
day.
can go in and out different.
The long days, the long travel, the heats from pretty much the beginning of the Amberdell all the way now to halfway along the Googs track was really catching up to us. We were really feeling it by now. We have been non-stop go, 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 go. We hadn't really had anywhere where we stayed for 2 days, mainly because it was too hot and just the time factor. Everything took a lot longer than we thought. So when we got to Mount Finke, I don't think anyone really had the energy to even attempt it.
Left Mount Finke a little while ago. We decided it was a bit unwise to climb it, I know that Wayne really wanted to climb it. I was pretty keen too, but it's like 40 degrees right now. It was 42. It's dropped to 40, so it's sort of hovering around 40, 42. We weren't meant to look for a camp now, so we could actually finally get a daytime camp. Well, pretty much first time in for the last week and a bit. But we decided to keep pushing because it's just too bloody hot. We'll just be sitting around just dying. In fact, it's that hot. There's no ants, there's no scorpions, there's no spiders, there's no flies outside at the moment. It's just too hot for them all. So, yeah, we'll just keep pushing along the sand dunes and we'll find somewhere and, what is the time? Nearly 4 and it's still 40 degrees, so maybe around 4:30, 5 o'clock, we'll pull up and hit the camp. Arrived at Googs Lake, just in the background there. Now before I'm going to get all relaxy and get some beverages flowing, this tyre's been giving me grief for a while. It's got a minor leak somewhere, I haven't been able to find it, so we're going to hit the highway tomorrow eventually, so I figured it's safer just to change it now, so that's what I'm going to do.
Sounds good. I suppose our 35s of this trailer may need a bigger bottle jack. That's the limit. Are we free? Yeah. Should be. Jack? Yeah. Safety can.
It's on an angle.
Did it go down?
Yep. No, after you let it off a bit, it has to go beyond a certain
Just
point.
leave one wheel nut on and then get this wheel off so then we can get it on.
Does it stay up?
Yeah, if you keep pumping it will.
Check all wheel nuts aren't too tight like this one here. Here we go, 95 kilos. Oh, there we go.
Good handbrake. Pull the handbrake tighter.
I can't because the wheel jockey's in the way.
Comedy Central.
Yep.
Is he voicing over this?
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead.
I haven't done this before.
How to,
I need a hoist. I don't work on the ground.
You get my clothes dirty.
No, every time we move the wheel, the studs would move. We were chasing it around. It was quite comical, really.
I hear there's some washing going on here.
Yeah, you know.
Washing.
No, 10 days in the bush.
Are you giving that bag a go?
Yeah.
So this is the scrubber bag.
Can you fit me in it?
Oh, we can give it a go.
You will scrub.
We had clean water.
Can you tip that some of it in there for me, please?
What are you doing? How much
The
of that you
water?
put in?
I just put it. I've
Yeah.
already put some, and then you
Okay.
just need some water. Yeah. I put just like maybe 2 tablespoons.
Tell me when.
Just half of that water is a good, please. Yep. Maybe a little more, I reckon. Kind of need enough to agitate it. Yep.
So you got to heat the water up though, eh?
No, that's just warm from the water tank.
Oh,
From
really?
The sun today.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need warm load of washing.
It was pretty hot today.
Oh man, 40s and 42s.
Oh man.
It's pretty much just like a dry bag. But
Is there a one way valve?
yeah. No, I don't think it is.
Oh, you got to shut it off.
You just shut it off. It's just to get rid of the excess air.
Okay. What do you do then? Hit the hit Wayne with it a couple of times?
Pretty much. You squeeze the air out
Yeah.
and then close it back up. And shake it down. And just give it a little massage.
So
Yeah.
it's got these nubs on here.
Oh, that'd be a good pillow, I reckon. Eh?
I reckon you could if you could blow it up. And
So you got to be hard with it, or?
Nah, I don't think so. Just agitate it around. I think the little nubs, they just help get rid of the extra dirt
Okay.
that's in there.
How much do you put in it?
So in here there's 3 pairs of shorts and 2 pairs of shirts. 2 shirts.
Clearly, we're all pretty tired.
And I've done my own. I've done 3 shirts, 2 pairs
Okay.
of shorts.
I didn't quite see how you did it, so can I bring some shorts and some socks so you can show me again?
Yeah, so I can wash your clothes.
The only
Nice
thing
try.
is, it does use a fair bit of water.
Okay.
I think because like we've used 10 litres on hers and now we're using 10 on mine, so there's 20 litres.
But you only use 5, so you got to use more again.
Or you got to rinse it.
Oh, so this is with the soap and then you rinse it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's not
So-
that water efficient. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
but if you, like obviously if you
But
ran out of undies
if you knew
and
like
socks,
a well or something, so you
Yeah.
got to plan it. You're not going to do washing every day.
No,
That's
Yeah.
not camping.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been here, what, 10 days? It's
Yeah.
our first bit of washing.
Yeah, I'll just run out of clothes, eh?
Yeah.
Just.
That's the thing, like after 2 weeks, you
Mm.
start getting short on shirts.
But if
or
I only wanted to
shorts on
do a couple of socks and a pair of shorts,
shorts.
I
Yeah.
don't need 5 litres
No,
Not
total.
even, yeah.
no. Just enough to push the detergent around and give it a bit of
Yeah,
a
cool.
scrub, I think.
Oh, pretty
Yeah.
interesting. Alright, well comment down below if you want to know what it is. You can jump on and tell them what's in this
Yeah.
bag.
Pegs.
Thanks.
Peg bag.
Peg bag. A bit of a camping hack here. This is a guy rope. From a tree to a tree or a tree to a car. Just hopefully Wayne remembers when he takes off tomorrow. Alright. So we've changed the tyre now. Now I can finally relax. It's Torben's turn to cook tonight. Woohoo! He's doing nachos. So before Torben cooks the meal, Travers and Torben decide to cook up this concoction.
Leftovers.
And it's a bit like a homemade dip. We got black olives, jalapenos,
Salami. Pork roast.
feta cheese,
Onions. Chili.
Tin of tomatoes.
Tin of tomatoes.
tuna tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, whole heap of stuff left over, and a whole heap of condiments. This is the best dip I've ever had. This is so good.
A few crackers goes
Get
a
in
long way.
before Ronny does.
Do you have any more crackers?
Oh my god.
Make a loaf.
It's gone pretty quick.
Like, you all eat it.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Bit of fresh chili makes it.
Well, jalapenos help though.
Yeah, definitely the jalapenos made it. I learned that one from my sister-in-law.
So is this a Travers special or?
I've sort of taken it from my sister-in-law. She used to cook it up at our place, and I was like, it's gold.
Yep.
Welcome to Little Bear's cooking show. Tonight we are cooking nachos. Just doing a bit of mince, flavoured with, what is it flavoured with? Bit of spiced rum, Jack Daniels, and Wayne's favourite Carolina Reaper. So it's going to be a pretty hot dish. And we'll top it off with some sour cream, salsa, and lots of cheese.
And avocado.
Oh, yes, and avocado. Got to have avocado, don't we?
Yep. And cheese.
Oh, and of course corn chips. Got to have corn chips.
You got like 4 bags of those, don't you? How many did you eat on trip?
I got 2 bags of corn chips.
Had 5.
What do you expect when we turn up to camp late every night? I've got to get something to keep me going. Yes, get out of my kitchen. Premium?
Still looks red, mate. Need to cook them more.
Yeah, okay. Ooh.
Taste test?
Yeah, toast it.
Oh,
Don't take the whole avocado.
you found the avocado, did you?
Yeah, I've got 2.
I've got to sample it. Not bad.
Not bad.
Can we melt the cheese? I'll get a
Too
blowtorch.
Too hard.
Alright.
Dig in.
Just hang on.
My plates burns. On a paper plate, love it.
Your plate burns.
There you go.
Your cheese is burnt.
Yeah, you
We are currently leaving Goog's Lake. Excuse me chewing my chewing gum. I forgot to brush my teeth, so it's a second alternative. Yeah, so something I probably haven't mentioned yet is fire ban. Total, complete fire ban in WA and South Australia. Both states have big issues with bushfires and stuff, so that's fair enough. And that's why we haven't had any fires, except for we had heat beads underground, and that's where I kind of stretched the envelope a bit. We're underground, there was nothing there we could burn. Obviously if it was a coal mine we wouldn't be down there in the first place, and that'll probably be burning for 100 years, but we're in an open mine. We had some heat beads, that's all we did. The rest of the time we used the X1 to cook everything. But look, if it's a complete fire ban, just obey the bloody rules. We have come past a few camps on the Googs, and because it's weekend while we're out here, we've actually noticed that people had fires, and it's been bloody windy, and it was 42 degrees yesterday. That is just insane. I don't know why you'd even think about it. It's too bloody hot to sit around a fire in the first place. So yeah, gas burners only for a certain period of time in South Australia and Western Australia. So something I just realised is Goog is not the actual last name. Goog is a nickname something to do with eggs, I believe. So Denton is the correct last name.
These two memorials here honour John Denton, known as Goog, and Martin Denton, known as Dinga, for their efforts of cutting this track through, which today full drive enthusiasts can use at free will. The track was cut to serve as a shortcut directly from the farmlands down to Ceduna. Otherwise, you had to go really far west or really far east to be able to get down to Ceduna. This cuts off a lot of distance.
So Martin Denton, which nicknamed Dinga, he actually died in a car accident in 1993, 3 years before his dad died. And here are both their memorials. So as you can see, quite a few people have been doing some tributes here.
It's been one hell of an awesome adventure. One of the best ones yet, from uncertainty from even starting the track to a 5,000 kilometre round journey home. Our memories from this adventure will stick with us for a lifetime, that's guaranteed. Apart from maybe the memory loss that occurred at Wayne's birthday party, but let's not get into that too much. The trip started with unknown track conditions. When it seemed dry, it turned wet and boggy. We got severely stuck, we burnt winches, we got out. Followed by many roadblocks, almost the entire way. However, a good group of mates worked together to push on, and we pushed on, through the dark, many times, as we always do. Now the places and sights were like no other. Driving with wild camels, a remote plane wreckage amongst the dunes, the first border crossing in our current vehicles, and then ground zero of atomic bombs. Who would have thought? All this in one trip. But that's not where it ended. We then went to Cooper Pedy, which I refer to as a Mad Max-like town in barren land. Perfect setting for movies there, and that's why movies were shot there. With a camp underground to top everything off. Now after this we were pretty well burnt out. But what really made the trip was being in company with good mates. Mates you know well, mates who can work together. And that makes all the difference. On behalf of the entire crew and myself, I'd like to thank you all for watching the entire series. It means a lot, and a special thanks to all the patrons on Patreon. You help make this possible. So thanks again everyone. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the button on the screen. And if you'd like to support the creation of future videos just like this, go to patreon.com/Ronny Dahl. Now to bridge the gap until the next series is out, there is a link down here to a series you may or may not have already seen. Thanks again guys, we'll see you in the next video.